Well, first, welcome everybody. It's exciting to be the first talk in what I'm sure will be another standout year of incredible research discussions with this seminar series. A little bit about me is that I am an associate professor at the School of Modeling and Simulation and Training, which houses both the Institute for Simulation and Training that has a really long history of pioneering human-centered modeling and simulation research, and the Modeling and Simulation Graduate Program, which is our innovative, integrative, and inspirational force promoting interdisciplinary education across our campus. I'm personally a trained computer scientist specializing in computer graphics who loves being interdisciplinary in my scientific approach. I work in wicked problems leveraging virtual and augmented reality, rendering, physically based simulation, and human/computer robot AI interactions. And I even recently adopted a dog with two rockstar researchers, Dr. Kristen Mulraj and Lori Walters. And you can see a little more about what Tape Measure is up to with the Central Florida Robotics Program and our 3 labs with that link I just posted in the chat. I build stuff, I break stuff, I fix stuff, but I always endeavor to combine disciplinary knowledge and processes to find new lenses to view these complex problems. I always work in teams, never alone, so all the work you will see today will be the product of these collaborations with my talented students, my clever collaborators, and my supportive family. But today I want to focus on the grants that drive work on computational heritage in the digital humanities. But first, principles. What do I even mean when I say computational cultural heritage in digital humanities? It might be a term that as engineers or people in STEM, it might be a little new to a lot of us to see what that actually is. Being a computer scientist, of course, I hesitated a bit on what I should say to define this, but I landed on the following working definition: the intersection of technology and the humanities to the study, the preservation, and the dissemination of cultural heritage. And the field of cultural heritage spans many distinct sub-areas, from the traditional field-based work, such as work with Dr. Branting on site at the Kirkenes project in Turkey, to documenting and interpreting tangible heritage, such as photos, maps, laser scans, books, and other significant items at the Center for Humanities and Digital Research, led by Drs. Jans, Karmoth, French, and Giroux. To the intangible cultural heritage, the hidden stories and culture that Dr. Lester captures with her Riches project here in Florida. These projects all have the innovative use of technology for the discovery, analysis, and interpretation of this cultural material. I'm a bit sanguine about the capacity of immersive technologies, not just to capture these items, but to fundamentally change our methods. This is one of the areas where interdisciplinary really shines. So in that, I'm going to highlight 4 of our projects that work through the National Endowment of Humanities grants. Our teams use this immersive technology such as laser scans, photogrammetry, hyperspectral imaging, augmented and virtual reality to really provide a non-intrusive way to highlight accurate representations, documentation, and experiences of structures and artifacts and sites. And this is the research I'm going to briefly touch on. But what I'm really trying to put here is a seed in your head that the projects on these 2 slides demonstrate the breadth and the depth that UCF has in the digital humanities. I play only a small part in the symphony of work driven by the College of Arts and Humanities and the College of Sciences, collaborating with the College of Engineering and Sciences in this field. So it's all of us together working on this complex problem. It's never just one college or one researcher working on this in any particular way. The first project is DATCH, led by Dr. Scott Branting in anthropology and Lori Walters at IST in the Department of History. This is an NEH Humanities Advancement Grant that provides tools for fieldwork to use immersive technologies such as augmented reality, AI, computer vision to give individuals superpowers to assess and document cultural heritage. You can overlay past laser scans and documentation, photos, models interactively, so you can view how sites might change over time. And go back to certain areas to document them that you visited in previous years. But the project truly features these 3D drawing and documentation tools that I'm trying to highlight briefly on the side, where we're trying to augment, not replace, the pencil out of the field work when archaeologists go out there. I tend to think of this 3D immersive drawing with a dichotomy, creating 3D models as a process and 3D models as a product. This is where the immersive tech can change the methodology inside the humanities. 3D modeling has many benefits in cultural heritage, and these are typically associated when a site or object is too delicate to display or too far away to go. I doubt many of us on the Zoom have gone to Kirkenes. I know there's a few from looking at who's here, but many of us have not had the opportunity to travel to Turkey. But we could all immersively experience the site through virtual reality and augmented reality with these tools, so we can see why the site's important, what's its impact, and what's its culture to the people of this particular area. The second grant I want to talk about is Memory Scan. It's another NEH DAG grant that aims to modernize and enhance oral history collecting. This project looks to capture the semantic knowledge and episodic memories of our shared experiences. The current methodologies a lot of people use are structured and answered sessions to gather facts and stories, but those memories in these sessions are often unreliable and imprecise on what is actually being captured. I barely can remember what I did last week. It's hard to remember what might have done 40 or 50 years ago without some prompting. Memory Scan is really designed to use these immersive virtual environments to help improve the quality and quantity of these sessions. We focus primarily on the Space Coast, where we have captured about 10 kilometers of A1A with a very complex lidar scan that you're seeing here for the intensity data and the RGB data. We had talented technical artists help us create memory markers and signs to help us augment this so we can roll it back into time, so we can enhance this digital twin experience. So now historians can ride in a virtual car down A1A and go to the glass bank and remember stories of passing Pinky the elephant after a hard day of working during the space race. And this is directly trying to couple the human element to the digital twin, which is often lacking. Usually we're just sending data back and forth of how hot something is or how fast a turbine might actually go. We want to find a way to connect this human element into the digital twin to connect the stories, facts, and memories together on site to create a more immersive digital twin of this cultural heritage past. The third project is another collaboration with Dr. Walters and I in San Diego State, which aims to develop practical preservation solutions for people passionate about saving the cultural heritage before it's lost. You could be a local historical society, all the way to a well-funded unit. But what we have now are these phones and devices in our pockets that have an amazing amount of technology in them, everywhere from being able to do photogrammetry to now doing basic lidar scans. But nobody knows what to do. And if you have a situation like Ukraine or Syria, where you have a lot of cultural heritage that needs to be preserved very quickly, you might not have the best experts on site to actually help you with this. What are some scientific workflows to provide best practices? Can they load up a small app on their phone? Can they see what they can need to do to document something with just the material that they actually have? There's been some great work by the Cultural Heritage Imaging that has gone along with this to provide some practical methods for just photogrammetry. Our work on this grant is trying to extend that with trying to do things with laser scans and different types of immersive and new technologies that are out there, from the iPhone capturing basic laser scans to larger equipment such as Leica, Pharos, and other devices. We have two partners in this, the Hollywood Historical Society and the La Mesa History Center on this particular project. And the last project I want to talk about is the work here by Dr. Walters on the ChronoPoints project. I definitely am an imposter on this project. I want to be very clear, but I want to mention it. Dr. Walters lists me on the website, but this tapestry is one that she paints. I just slap around equipment for her and make things look pretty using my computer graphics methodology and theory. But ChronoPoints is really dedicated to documenting historically significant structures and artifacts and recording a structure's life history through the capture of digital data and contextualizing it through photographs, memorabilia, oral histories of individuals associated with the artifact and of that building. Lori and her team capture everything from Jack Kerouac's house on the other side of the road all the way to the roof of Research One in the Biological Science Building. I have an interactive demo of the Biological Science Building now, and you can see this is a detailed laser scan of the site, particularly trying to do our multi-million-dollar renovation. Lori worked from the ground with terrestrial laser scanning all the way up to the roof to work on this complicated flume system so that you could understand how the building could actually be refitted and retrofitted for a particular site. And this is really valuable if you were working on a site that you did not actually want to get on an airplane to actually go see. You could capture this immersive digital environment. So it's applicable to both cultural heritage and to the engineering practices. She has some amazing collaborators on this project, all the way from Dr. Charlie Hughes, Dr. Rob Michaelowitz, Michelle Adams, and many others. And I put some chats in the link so you can move around and see what some of those particular sites are and what they're actually doing for their particular time. Now, in summary, I know that was brief. I hope I did some justice to shining a light on some of the computational cultural heritage and digital humanities work being conducted here at UCF. And not just the work I partake in, but trying to highlight some of the amazing projects at Cheddar, Riches, and Kirkenes, just to name a few. And I do apologize. There's a lot of great work going on campus from Dr. John Walker, Amanda Groff, Scott French, Tiffany Simoni, and many others. I'm just cropping out right now because of the lack of time. I'll blame Dean Georgopoulos for only giving me 10 to 12 minutes to kind of highlight such a complex tapestry of work going on here at UCF. But at least I give you an outline of the form and shape of this complex sculpture that's going on here at UCF. I'll say I'm nothing without my students. So a lot of the work that you're seeing is the work of some of my past PhD students who have graduated and gone on to do better things. My current PhD students are toiling away on a lot of these projects every day. And a lot of my undergraduates have gone on into industry to do a lot of great work. I have a lot of great collaborators across many different colleges, both inside UCF and many other places. Again, I said I have a love for interdisciplinary collaborations. I'm not an expert on any of these fields, and you need great minds when you do things and you do these collaborations, whether it's working on capturing bridges with Dr. Nakati Katabas to capturing turbines and machinery with Dr. Jay Kapat. There are experts across campus that I love to partner with to try to figure out some of these great immersive environments. And of course, our funders, we're nothing without getting some of the funding for our students so that they can actually put food on the table and pay rent. And I'm very thankful, particularly here, to the National Endowment of Humanities, who have sponsored 4 grants that we're working on over my past couple of years to work on these particular projects in any different way. And with that, I really thank you. I love to foster collaborations with you and your team. Please reach out. I'd love to grab espresso. So I'll always be happy to sit down with you and chat about any of these projects here today.